The thing is that a project rarely fails because of technology, but I have seen many projects fail due to reasons that boil down to one single aspect: people. The problem starts when projects start going off track. This is how it goes. People start playing the usual blame game. The first person to be shot is normally the project manager for not controlling the scope, or not controlling the stakeholders, or being able to control the budget. They can blame the business case, or the estimation process, or the lack of user input, or etc., etc. But the hard truth is that all of these blames are just symptoms of failure, not the underlying causes of project failure. And focusing on the symptoms does not lead to anywhere. All this unnecessary blame and running around is like trying to eradicate chickenpox by focusing on the rash it creates. Frankly, we need to ask ourselves why. Why do so many projects fail? Did you know out of every 100 IT projects, about 94 have to start over again? At least once. Based on my experience and research by some of the great industry experts, the real reason why projects fail is because they fail to gain sufficient momentum to succeed. Now, in physics, momentum equals mass times velocity. That means you get something significant moving in a specific direction at a certain speed. In project terms, take this concept of physics and interpret it as momentum equals critical mass of understanding times velocity, which means really understanding what the project is all about. Velocity is all about direction, aimed at a particular target, and getting there with some degree of speed. Now let's be clear how you get to critical mass of understanding in this formula. In layman person's terms, it would be you go get the business requirements. So, momentum here is not about being killed by those people that don't know what to do with those requirements once they've got it. It's about being killed by the inability to get requirements done, or at least done well in the first place by the business analysts. Here is another mind-blowing statistic. 70% of projects that fail because of poor requirements, which is called out to be the single greatest danger to IT productivity improvement. So, regardless of your development approach, whether it is waterfall, agile, iterative, or hybrid, which is all quite common today, uncovering the business needs and then communicating those business needs efficiently to IT is what's critically important. No one knows your business better than the people in it. But what's hard is converting that knowledge into clear, concise, and accurate requirements. Fundamentally, no amount of brilliance in coding can fix having poor direction on what the business needs to achieve. It's common sense to know that good requirements equal good project, and bad requirements equal bad project. But it's important to look at the reasons why companies fail so often to get good requirements, because that is what underlies the failure to get momentum and ultimately the failure behind projects generally. You know, maybe it's because everyone has their own thoughts to make sure that requirements don't go off the track. If you have that many people all trying to get the boat sailing in their own way, everybody knows what's going to happen, right? It's going to sink, of course. Or maybe it's because the senior executives want processes done a certain way. Failure is not something that is planned deliberately. But what happens is that executives or senior managers invariably have a whole lot more experience and knowledge in knowing what doesn't work in requirements gathering process than what does. So then they plan it their own way. But there comes a time when we all need to realize that no amount of pushing will make that